Fear doesn't always come with a roar. Sometimes, it's a whisper. A shadow on the wall. A silence too deep to bear. In the village of Baskari, tucked away in the lower Himalayas, Arin was born under a full moon, a good omen. But unlike most children who played under the stars and ran wild through the forests, Arin trembled in silence. He wasn't born fearful. Something shaped it. When he was 6, he got lost during a village festival. Alone in the woods for a single hour, he heard something, a howl that wasn't animal or human. He never spoke of it. But from that day, he feared silence and darkness as if they were living creatures. Arin grew quieter with age. He was gentle, smart, and kind-hearted, but never brave. His father, Captain Devraj, was once a mountain hero, a man who had scaled 3 peaks no other villager dared. He tried to toughen Arin up with fishing, hiking, and early morning training. But Arin never took to it. At school, when the teacher called on him, Arin's hands would sweat. His voice would shake. At night, he would insist on a candle by his bedside, even after being mocked by cousins. Arin the mouse, they teased. But deep down, Arin wanted to be brave. He wanted to stop flinching at every creak, to stop avoiding eye contact with strangers. He wanted to ask, why does fear live inside me like a shadow? One evening, his father sat him down. You know why people fear the silent mountain? Because it's cursed, Arin replied, shivering. No. Because someone once said it was, and everyone else repeated it. His father continued, fear is just a story we believe. But stories can be rewritten, son. Arin didn't argue, but he didn't believe it yet. Not when he still saw that mountain's silhouette at night, sharp, unmoving, as if watching him. When Arin turned 20, he moved to the city for college. There, the world was loud and unforgiving. He didn't speak up in class, didn't join clubs, didn't make friends. Fear followed him everywhere, changing shape from fear of the dark to fear of failure, judgment, and rejection. Then, one cold December, he got a call, your father went missing near Silent Mountain. Search teams returned. No trace. The words crushed him. His father, his only rock, lost in the very place Arin feared the most. He sat alone for hours, paralyzed. But something stirred in him, rage and love overpowered fear. He would go. He had to. For 2 weeks, Arin trained physically, mentally, spiritually. He watched survival videos, read about hypothermia, practiced hiking with a weighted backpack. He pushed himself to exhaustion, knowing every step toward the mountain would be a step toward his fear. His mother cried as he packed. You don't have to do this, Arin. Yes, Amma, I do. For him. For me. The base of Silent Mountain was shrouded in snow and silence. No tourists. No guides. Only the howling wind and thick pines. Every footstep crunched. Every shadow stretched long. On the second night, a snowstorm hit. Trapped in a tent, Arin cried for the first time in years. Not just for his father. For himself. For the years fear had stolen. He took out his father's old journal and read a quote he had highlighted, bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing to act despite it. Arin whispered to the wind, I'm not running anymore. The deeper he climbed, the stranger things became. No animal tracks. No birdsong. Just the crunch of snow, the hiss of wind, and once the same howl he heard as a boy. He stopped. Heart pounding. But instead of turning back, he screamed into the trees, "I'm not afraid of you anymore." There was no reply. Just silence. And for the first time in his life, that silence gave him peace. On day 6, Arin discovered a trail marked with carved stones, his father's markers. Following them, he reached a hidden clearing, untouched by snow. There was a makeshift camp, a solar lamp, and a battered tent. Inside, his father's second journal. The entries told a different story, not of a cursed mountain, but a sacred one. A natural sanctuary, perfectly balanced, where even the birds respected the silence. His final entry read, "I've found what I was looking for, not just nature, but stillness." Maybe we fear silence because it forces us to hear ourselves. But in silence, I found freedom. Arin stayed there 3 days. No signal. No noise. Just him, his father's words, and the silent wind. In that time, he learned to meditate, to observe, to listen inward. He wrote his own fears, one by one, in a notebook, then burned the pages. When he finally descended, he was no longer the same man who climbed up. He was no longer a prisoner of stories others told him or the ones he told himself. Epilogue: The Speaker of Silence. Back in the city, Arin became an environmentalist, a storyteller, a public speaker. People asked him, "How did you overcome fear?" And he would smile and say, "Fear didn't vanish. I walked with it, talked to it, climbed with it. And somewhere along the way, it stopped controlling me." He later built a small retreat center near Silent Mountain, where people could come, disconnect, and face themselves just as he once did. And every evening, he'd walk alone in the forest. In the silence. Smiling.